going to talk about college experiences and more specifically studying abroad. Hence that. So when I was in college, I was given the opportunity to study abroad in Italy, and let me tell you, it was one of the best experiences I've ever done in my entire life. It's been 2 years since I've done it, and I still talk about it. I was just looking at old videos, and I made a video for us to reminisce about our time and all the different things we do. Really, we just had such a blast. And so here are some tips on how to really make the most out of your study abroad experience. First thing is you definitely need to step out of your comfort zone. Yes, you're in a new country, so you're kind of already out of your comfort zone, but keep going and go beyond it. Don't just mingle with just the people you came with on the trip. You should definitely try to meet new locals who all live in the country, people your age. Go out and really immerse yourself in the culture, because you'll make friends not only with the people on your trip, but like with people that are in another country, and who knows, if you want to go back and visit them, you have someone that you can go stay with and wherever you go. Like, it's the best. I still try to keep in contact with people, and that was one of the best things I did when I was over there is I didn't just hang out with people that were on the trip. I tried to make new friends and spend time with people that live there and really, immerse myself in the culture. And if you go to a country where you don't speak the language, it's even cooler, because hopefully you'll be able to pick up on the language, and if not, you just make a fool of yourself like I did, speaking like weird Tanglish with Spanish and all this kind of stuff. But it's literally the best thing ever. Another tip I would say is don't worry about sleeping, because literally I probably did not sleep very much at all while I was in Europe, but I came home and slept, and I'm so glad, because every late night I spent out, or every night staying up late working on my project because I wanted to hang out with people beforehand, was totally worth it at the end of the day. And I'm so glad I didn't just go home and sleep. I mean, granted, 1 or 2 days depending on how long you're abroad, but you really just want to make the most of your experience while you're there. The other thing I would say is try to figure out what the travel arrangements are like over there. Because when we were in Italy, getting on a train was as easy as going to the station like a few minutes before you wanted to get on your train. You could buy your ticket and you could go to wherever you want. When we tried to do inter-country traveling, it was a whole messy experience, because after our trip was over, me and one of my friends decided to travel from Rome, and we flew to London, and then we went to Paris, and then we came back to Italy, and we didn't buy any of our train tickets. So we ended up buying our ticket in London to go to Paris, and it cost us like $300. And then we fell asleep on the train because we didn't know we fall asleep on all the trains, which is great. But we fell asleep on the train, and we didn't know there was a time change from London to Paris. So we ended up missing our stop, and so we ended up in Brussels, France, and we had to run around the train station, and finally someone helped us, and we got on a train to Paris where we needed to be. And then we took an overnight train from Paris to Rome, and that was just an experience because it was so difficult to sleep, and just definitely a crazy thing. But I would definitely travel afterwards too if you get the opportunity, whether it's a week or a few days, or even while you're in your study abroad. If you can do weekend trips, totally worth it. It was awesome. We went on a weekend trip to Venice, we went on a weekend trip to Pisa and Florence, and they were awesome. I have to say, so glad I did that. It was so worth it. I know in the beginning I tried to get a bunch of people to go, and I was like, you know what? I don't care if anyone else wants to go. Me and my friend that I had on the trip, I was like, we're gonna go, and whoever wants to join us is more than welcome to. But since we're not getting any answers right away, let's just book it and see what happens. And we ended up getting 3 extra people on our trip, and it was such an adventure. It's just, it's awesome. And that's another thing. Really just soak up every, thing that happens that you didn't plan for it to happen, and then just make the best of it, because you come back with an even better story than everything worked out perfectly. Because when we went to Venice on a weekend trip, I gave the job of booking our hostel to someone else, because I'm kind of indecisive about where to book. And when we got there, she had booked our hostel for the following weekend. And that particular weekend, everywhere in Venice was pretty full. And luckily, another girl on our trip knew how to speak Bengali. So she talked to the guy that was there, and he ended up hooking us up with something else, because at first he was not trying to deal with us. So we ended up getting a great, thing happen, but It was just like, it's like misadventures turn into the adventures, which is just so much fun. But definitely just make the best of your experience because you will come back with so many memories. That's the other thing. Take pictures, take videos, but also really live in the moment because that's really why you're there and what you'll really retain afterwards. Yes, it's great to look at pictures and videos afterwards, but it's also great to think, oh, I wasn't just all about my camera, like I was there and I went on like a photograph video trip thing, so that's really all we did. And I do love having my camera and I took a lot of videos on my phone, so even if you just like are recording and you're not paying attention, like that's fine too, but just document your trip, but also live in the moment. Find that balance so that you're not like overdoing it with the documenting side. Also, very important, and I wish I did this because I'm looking at all my footage now, and if you're taking video on your iPhone, don't have it like this. Turn it this way so it fills the screen when you're taping so you don't have this awkward video or vertical, and when you edit videos later it doesn't look as good. But document your trip, man. I am so happy I took as many pictures and videos as I did. I almost wish I took more, but I'm glad because I can like remember a lot of it too. Also, if you don't want to necessarily document it, write down in a diary what happened each day, even just on your iPhone in a note, like just write down what you happened, because I did that and it's so cool to go back and read what I did as well so that I know like everything that happened, and then I have a video of it, me saying some stuff too, which is really cool. But it's really interesting to go back and read what you were feeling and kind of stuff, not only just see how you were, because you can see that you're like crazier in person, but when you take the time to like write it out after it happens, it's like really cool too. So document it, take a journal kind of thing, just make sure you remember what happens, because if you do it right, it will be one of the best things that you've done, especially while in college. I would say out of everything I've done in college, and I've got to do some really cool things, going abroad was one of the best things I've ever done. So definitely go to abroad. It's so much fun and really make the most of it. Try to learn the language ahead of time a little bit because it will benefit you in the long run when you're there. Although if you try to really immerse yourself in culture and don't just be like, I'm gonna speak English because I don't know how to speak the other language. Really try to be like, Quanti anni, como te chiami? They really appreciate you trying to speak it, even though you're probably saying everything wrong, looking like an idiot, but you'll pick up on it. Just have fun and enjoy every minute of it. Take a minute while you're there and just like soak it in, like you're in a different country, you're not home, and it's your time to shine bright. So study abroad while you can. It's the best thing ever. Yeah, so study abroad. That's my biggest tip about being in college. Study abroad. Study abroad. Doesn't matter where you go, as long as you go and have fun, make friends, plan out your trip, research it if you want ahead of time, but also be able to be spur of the moment where you can find not following plans either. Like you can do whatever you want, but make sure you have that balance where you know what you want to do, but then also be like, no, let's go do this, or we can go there, or whatever, because it's so much fun to be spontaneous when you're over there because it's so easy to, and you just have so much fun. But yes, I love me some Italians, but go wherever, you know, all countries are awesome and it's so cool to experience other cultures. So study abroad, have fun. All right, see you later. Bye. I don't even know Italian.